think it's working now. I'm in our regular Facebook group, streaming live. I don't see any comments yet, so let me know if you're in here, if you can see me, if you can hear me, and trying to make sure I have the comments turned on. I'm assuming they are. Okay. I'm not sure. So let me expand this for a second. Okay. So also I'm going to, okay, let me pull it up on my phone as well just to see if this is working. And if you're just joining me, and this is the second time in a few minutes, I apologize. I will delete the other one. My laptop was set up for to do an update at a certain day and time, and usually I do Sundays because I'm busy doing other stuff and it doesn't bother me that it updates. But I tried to stop it and I couldn't, so I apologize. So now it's all stopped and I've restarted it, so we should be good now. So hello everyone. If someone can say hello really quick so I can see if my comments are working on screen. If not, I can use my phone. Turn the sound off so there's no reverb. So just let me know. Okay, so I see Melissa. Hello, Melissa, on my phone. I don't see you over there. So I think it's something going on with my laptop. I'll have to figure it out. So I did a tutorial the other night and they weren't coming up then either. But the tutorial before that, they were. So I don't know what happened. But anyway, let's get started. So tonight we are going to be making salt water taffy. And so I've already got a few started, so let me show you. So here's what they're going to look like, the finished product. And so before we do that, well, actually the reason that we're going to do this is because I still have my birthday display up, and I had 2 gumball machines, and I wanted to fill them with some fake sweets. And so last week we did the dark chocolate salted caramels, and actually, hey Kelly, actually I will probably, maybe before we get started, I'll demonstrate how I'm going to use them, like in the gumball machine. For those of you that have gumball machines, then you'll see how I'm using it to display. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess with my hair. Anybody see that, my post earlier that I put on there about the sunglasses in my hair? For those of you who, hi Amber, for those of you who don't know me, I recently had my hair cut. They cut 16 inches off, and so I love it being short. It's the first time in my entire life I've had it short, but I'm still getting used to it. So the funny thing was this afternoon before I left the house, I was getting ready, and then, oh yay, comments are popping up finally, so maybe there's just a lag. So anyway, wrap this up really quick. So I was getting ready, and I put, oh, I do have them on still. I put my sunglasses on, and I looked in the mirror, and I thought, oh my God, I look like some movie star that's like got a wig on with sunglasses, and I couldn't remember the name of the movie, but I posted it on my page, and then I went back and I changed some of the information because I couldn't remember the name of the movie and I thought it sounded weird. So anyway, it's on there, and I stopped talking about my hair now. It was something funny that happened. So, okay, so before we start, and those who just joined us, we are making salt water taffy tonight. And so right now I have a few started, and then I'm going to show you how I did them, and we'll make a few more. So hello Edith, before we do the taffy though, for those of you who joined me last week, we made the dark chocolate salted caramels, and I specifically made them to go into my gumball machine. So I thought I would share with you tonight. I would do a live with you and show you how I'm going to put them in there, how I'm going to use them to decorate. So let me grab them. I decided I would do the mint chocolate chip. I mean, not mint chocolate chip. I thought, the reason I chose the mint, I have pink and I have the mint, and I thought it reminded me of mint chocolate chips, so I thought that I would do them in there. So, okay, so what we're going to do, and I have another one. Hello, is it Sissa? I think. Hello. Okay, so I also have another one. Haven't figured out what I'm putting in it yet, because the pink and the green were on display over here. The purple one I actually made to go on display in my daughter's room. my daughter just recently graduated college, and now she has her own apartment, and so I get to take over her room. I've been taking over her room, but I officially get to take over her room. And so it's my fake bake room, and the theme is lavender. So anyway, I'm getting off track. So what I did, or what I'm going to do, let me grab the caramels, is, and my dog is asleep behind me, so if you hear him, he's kind of snoring right now. That's the noise that you're probably hearing. Hey, Amy Dawn, how are you? Okay, so here's the salted chocolate caramels that we made last week. So if you didn't get a chance to watch live or the replay, the tutorial is still in the group, so you can just go back and look up the Tuesday night tutorial from last Tuesday. So anyway, so this is all of mine, all dry, ready to go, and they've cured. And so what I'm going to do is I have packing peanuts for my shipping. And so what I did is I just counted out how many, well, I didn't count them out. I put them in the gumball machine and filled it up to the height that I wanted, and then I counted them out. It just happens to be there's 25 in here, which is kind of funny because the front of the gumball machine says 25 cents. So it's really easy if you're using these to put, as the bottom of your gumball machine. It's really easy to, you don't have to guess. You can just know that there's 25. So, okay, and then the reason, well, before I put the lid on, the reason that I'm putting them in the gumball machine at the bottom is because this is made of glass. For those of you that don't know what this is the Target, the infamous Target gumball machine. And it was red, and I stripped it and then painted it a color that went with my decor that I wanted to use it for. Okay, so I'll tilt it so you can see it's glass and goes all the way to the bottom. I didn't want to have to fill the entire container because with the colored bottom you don't see it anyway, so we just need something in there like filler so that when we do put whatever we're going to use to decorate it, it only needs to come up this height. So that's why it is the filler. I didn't make the gumball machines, Kelly, but I painted them. So each one of these were spray painted. I have a white cream one that goes really well with my Rae Dunn. And then this one I just painted lavender to go in my daughter's room because her theme is lavender in there. And then the mint chocolate chip. And then I have the pink one. And the pink one is the one we're going to be using. Sorry, I'm talking with my back. The pink one is the one we're going to be using tonight for the sweet water or salt water, getting sweet and salt mixed up. So the saltwater taffies I want in here for display. The salted chocolate caramels I want in the mint chocolate, or the mint colored one, so that it reminds me of mint chocolate chip, I guess. Okay, so let me stick that back over there for now. Okay, so what I did is I used packing peanuts. Again, 25, easy to remember. There's the 25 cents on the front. Okay, so for these, for some of you, I also showed you if you don't have a gumball machine and you don't want to display them in your gumball machine or in a glass or something, and you'd prefer to put them in the little candy cups, let me grab them. So you can do that instead. And these I just got at Hobby Lobby, and it was the Sunnyside Bakery, and they come like this, and there's a package. There's 100 in the package. So, okay, so what I did is, so I'm not going to display mine in the candy cups. They're going to go in here. But what I did was, when I pulled this out, and I'll show you, some of the wrappers were kind of crunched up, like this one still is. So I'll show you. So it's kind of like crunched up. Well, there were several like that. But it didn't bother me, using it to my advantage. So what I did is, let me put these back. I just flattened them out. So there were 4 of them. And so what I did is, so I have the peanuts. I don't want to see the peanuts. So what I did is I flattened them out, and then I just laid them in here, just upside down, almost like an umbrella, like if you had an umbrella. That's what I did. And then all 4 of them. And if you, it could need more. 4 of them worked for mine. But the reason I'm doing that is so that when I do put the chocolate salted caramels, what you're going to see, see if I can show you, is now you're just going to see like the brown wrapper underneath rather than the white peanuts. So that was the reason I did it. So let me turn this around. Okay, so then I'm just going to put these in here now. Just dump them in. And doesn't matter how they go. I want them to look like real candies that I just dumped in there. And so let me take the last one and put in there. Remove our plate. My dog is asleep behind me, so I'm trying not to step on him. So there you go. So yeah, so they're just going to be displayed like that. Put my lid back on. I don't need that candy wrapper anymore. Okay, so this little gumball for me is done for my display. So I'm going to stick it back on the shelf. And then the next thing is for tonight, and we're going to do the salt water taffy. So with that, I'm using Model Magic clay, and let me roll my sleeves up different. I'm using Model Magic clay, and what I did is I'm making a bunch of these, but if you only want to make a few, that's how I determine like which size of the Model Magic to use. So if you only want to make a few, I would I order these online, and I get the big package, which is 8 ounces, or I get and these come in like a tub of 4 on the 8 ounce. You can get them online. You can get them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. If you're going to purchase them in store, my suggestion is to go to Walmart. And Joann's Crafts and Fabrics has them as well. What I have found is that the tub, and there's 4, they're 8 ounces, there's 4 of them, they come in a tub. I found that Walmart is the most cost effective, like they're just cheaper there. I was at Joann Fabrics, and they were like $24.99, and over at my Walmart, they were like $17.99, so big difference if you're not going to order online. So anyway, so I'm going to use the big bag. I also have these small 1 ounce packages, and you can't, these are not, these come in a case of 75. It's actually like a class, like for kids, classroom case of product. So that's why they come like this. But I'm not going to open these. I just wanted to show you if you did want to order them. I love these. I use them for my membership. So that way when I send out, for those that are in the subscription box, if we're doing something that requires the clay, I don't want to have to like cut this open and then put it in a baggie. This way it's like they just get it brand new. So just wanted to show you how those come, and that's an action. But we are going to, here's my scissors. So we are going to go ahead and open this one, and I'll show you how it comes. And I'm going to use all of this. Actually, I may not make all of this tonight. We'll see. Okay. So what I do is I use silicone mats. So I don't know if you noticed. So I have 3 that are my favorites that I use. Tonight I'm just using this one. It's a little bit smaller. So if I'm going to do something that requires a lot more space, I'll use one of my bigger ones. But anyway, so I'm going to put this on here, and this is 8 ounces, and what we want to do is we want to cut it into 8 pieces, and I found it's the easiest to do it that way. So I use this, it's a, what's this called? It's a bench scraper. I look this way because I kept the thing for it. Okay, it's a bench scraper, and I bought this at Hobby Lobby. It's $6.99 at the it's made by Sunnyside Up Bakery. It was not on sale. Their Sunnyside Bakery products were not on sale last week, but they might be this week because, you know, they're closed on Sundays. So I always try to, because I know they kind of rotate. So whenever I need something out of this product line, I usually wait. If I don't have to have it right away, I'll wait like the extra week or so, and then I'll get it. And then usually it's like 40% or 50%. It changes. When they offered the coupon, it was just the same all the time, but now it sort of changes. Anyway, so I like it because it is very sharp, like a blade, and it just works. Hey, Sue. It just works really well for cutting the clay. Okay, so we are going to use the big one, which is the 8 ounces. So what I'm going to do, and I'll just show you. So we're just going to cut it in half. And then we're going to cut each half in half. Really easy. And now this half in half. And I actually have a scale, so I've done it both ways, and I'm going to show you both ways so that if you want to just eyeball your pieces, or if you want to make your pieces more consistent, like the not exact same size, but you know, very consistent. Okay, so cut this, and then what I'm going to do, pull that apart, I'm going to use gloves because we're going to color this, and I used magic markers to color these. Before I get into the coloring, so when I use the 8-ounce package of the Model Magic, it makes 8, what am I trying to say, 8 little pieces, and then it's, and then the, what am I trying to say, each piece will make 5 pieces. So you end up, if you do the whole package, you would end up with like 40 pieces of the taffy. If you wanted to make that many, you don't have to. I'm just letting you know, I kind of like did some math. Hi, Donna. And so that's what we ended up with. So once you do that, then if you wanted to use a scale, then you could, and you would just measure out, because this is 8-ounce packages. You would want to do like a 0.2 ounce per piece. But for this, I mean, it's really, you know, you want it to look as natural and realistic as possible, so you don't want it perfect. So I like just being able to just like cut them into the pieces. So, okay. All right, make sure I'm getting you guys now. Let me know if you're hearing any reverb at all, because I have my sound turned off, but I want to make sure that it's not causing an issue, because sometimes when I have it, it does. And we don't want that. Okay. I don't see anything, so I think we're okay. All right, so the reason that I use my scale is, wait a minute, 6, 8. Oh, okay, so the reason, and I'm going to use it just to show you, because you can do it either way, is because, turn this off, oh, wait a minute. Oh, my scale's not turning on. Well, maybe, wait a minute. Okay, maybe we're not going to use the scale tonight. Oh, there it goes. Okay, turn it off. Okay, so what I want is like 0.2 ounces on each one. So what I do is I just, oh wait, actually I don't want to do this yet. We want to mix up the color before we start separating it, because, and I'm going to use gloves, because it gets messy. So I made some pink and I made some blue. You don't have to use the gloves, but I find that it's super messy, like with the marker, and I prefer it. So it's just a preference, so it's up to you. Oops, put that over there. All right, okay, so I bought, any markers will work. You just want to, if you're going to use markers, I would suggest like making them your craft markers and just using them for your craft stuff, because I'm not sure how well they'll go, how well they'll work after that. So anyway, I bought these silly scented markers because they smell really good, and I remember when my kids were little, they loved them, and I thought, oh, how fun to do like the taffy and then be able to like have a scent, but once I made them, the scent just disappeared. It did not stay. So that, for this project, it's a good idea, but it just didn't work. So, okay, so we already did pink and blue, and I'm gonna do some greens. So let me scooch this out of the way so I don't have too many. Make sure those aren't in your way. Okay. Alrighty. So, oh, hi, Felicia. Okay. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm just using my hands and warming up the dough and just stretching it out. So we're just going to kind of pull it and stretch it, and then I'm going to lay it down. Then what I do is I just take the marker before I go on. I'm also using these wax papers to wrap them up in, and they're kind of thick, and so when you wrap them up, like I'll pull out the pink one, the color doesn't, it's very light, like it doesn't come through very, like if you do a light color, it doesn't really show up very like a strong color. So if you want it to be a little bit darker, then I would use more of the markers, like make it darker, and then when you cover it up with the wrapper, it's gonna not show as dark. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let me know if it does. Okay, so what I do is I just take my time and I just go over the clay, Model Magic clay, with the marker, and I just make sure this is covered. Okay, and then what I do is I just take it and I just fold it onto itself, okay, because that marker is wet and you want it to get into the clay. And then what I do is I start pulling it apart and putting it back together. And then what that does is it just helps to incorporate that ink into it. So when you first start, you can see it's kind of got like a, let me stretch this out, like a marbly green and white effect. And then our goal is to get it a solid color. So now I put some green on there, so I'm going to add some more. Okay, so I'll stretch it back out. And I don't use my rolling pin for this. I just really want to get some color incorporated. And I'm not leaving it flat, so I just felt like I didn't need the rolling pin. Okay, same thing. You're going to come back over the top of it and color it. Honestly, I find that the slower you go, at least for me, the color sits on it. It's like when I try to go fast, it looks more like a highlighter. It just wants to like not even adhere to it. Okay, same thing. I'm going to roll that in on itself and squish, smush and squish, and just keep rolling it until you start to see that color. So this is a workout. So this is probably the most work of making these is doing the coloring part of it. So you just want to keep going. And I'm sure there's, you know, if you've made these before or you've made something similar, there's other like colors that you can do. But for me, I really liked the idea of having the scented markers, thinking that was going to work. So, you know, it's good to try things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Okay, so I like to pull it apart and then put it back together because I find that it just, some of the inside gets moved to the outside of the clay, if that makes sense. So, alright, so as you can see, it's starting to turn. This one's more of a limey green, but I'm going to make it even darker. As I said, I want it to, most of the taffies are kind of pastel, like real taffy is kind of pastel, but because of the wrappers being white, I want to make sure, you know, that it shows through and that you can see it. So I'm going to stretch it out and do it one more time. So for me, it's 3 times a charm for the color. And we're just going to go over it again. There we go. So, a little bit more. Okay, since I'm only going to do it 3 times, I just want to make sure it's very coated. Alrighty. Okay, same thing, roll it on top of itself. There we go. And smush and splash. So, hi Vicki, hello. So tell me what you guys have been up to. So since I've got to need this for a little bit, how has your weekend been? I'm going to, again, break this in pieces and then put them back together. It just helps to aerate and stretch the inside of it so that the color gets saturated throughout. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's see. You know, it's a dark, kind of a dark green marker. It's leaving it like a very light lime color, so. Okay. All right. Almost there. Okay. So, I just did one of the little pieces here. Oh, here's another. And so, scooch that. I am going to get my scale out because I kind of want mine to be all the same. You don't have to, like I said. But when I do it, I make it 0.2 for the little balls. So there you go. That's 1, 2. Wow, that's how I've done this before. 3, seem like that's going to work. So it's too big left. Nope, it's 3. There's 2. And 2. And I'm just going to take this other little piece and just divide it up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's scooch these up here. So you're going to roll them into, I don't need my gloves now. I'll put them back on for a different color, but I don't need them for right now. So let me take these off and stick these under here. So, okay, so I'm going to roll it in a ball, and then I'm going to roll it between my fingers, and then I'm going to take it. If you've ever made marshmallows, this is how I do my marshmallows as well. So you're going to take it and you're going to roll it this way and then squish it this way, if that makes sense. So I'm rolling it and then squishing it so that you get that kind of like a marshmallow shape. That's what I'm after. Okay, can you kind of see? Okay, and then I'm just going to do it with them all. I'm going to roll it and then smush it so that and what I do is I smush and then I twist with these other fingers, if that makes any sense. Okay, there's 2. And then, let's see. Okay, I'm using these, I bought these already, confectionery wax paper. They're called confectionery twisting wax paper. I got those also at Hobby Lobby. They come in a package of 100, and the size is 4.5 by 5.5. I found from what I wanted was too big. So I cut my pieces of paper down. So you can either use scissors, or I have an X-Acto cutting board, and so I can just set up the measurement that I need, and then I just cut it to fit. So what I found was 4 by 4.5 works for me much better. It just, to me, it gives it that balance between the candy in the middle and then the 2 twisted ends. And I'll show you, let me finish rolling this one. I'll show you why I did that. I'll show you the 2 different sizes, like the original wrapper, how it comes, and then how I cut it down. And I'll show you. So there we go. So this is really quick and easy. If any of you want to make marshmallows and haven't done so, this is the same process. You can either leave it white, or you can add the colorant to it, the color, like the markers. Okay, so we've got our 5 little taffies. Okay, so this is what this product looks like. It just says confectionery twisting paper, and I got this at Hobby Lobby, and here's the other part of it. So it's made by Loran, like those Loran flavorings and oils. That's the same company, Loran. And it was $2.99. I don't remember what my final cost was. I bought it while it was on sale, when they had their bakery stuff on sale. But anyway, so what the original sheet looks like is this size. Okay, so this is the original size. It comes in 4.5 by 5.5, and we want 4.5 by 4, so you can kind of see the difference, like if I lay it over top too. It just was too much paper. I experimented, and for me, I found like that was best, and that's what I wanted to do. So let's scooch those. And then the next step we're going to do is, before we just, oh, and one other thing. So the paper comes with a shiny side and a more of a, I guess you could say it, a matte side. For what we're using, it's really just a personal preference. It's not real food. And if it was real food, these wrappers are, again, personal preference. Like, it's food safe. If you were doing real food with these, it's food safe on either side. So if you want it more of a matte or you want it more shiny. I wanted it more shiny, so I just made sure the shiny side was down. Okay, so when doing these, Model Magic clay, when you keep it sealed up, it doesn't cure, it doesn't dry out. So, so what I found is I'm using, I used Mod Podge, because I wanted to seal the paper on the clay. I'm not going to, so once I have this like this, it is what it is. I'm not going to reuse this clay. Like, it's just going to be my saltwater taffy. So, so what I did is, I always use these, I always try to like give you little tips if I think of them. I always use these little, they're just little clear plastic Solo cups. I just buy them in a sleeve. And instead of me like dipping into my Mod Podge, whenever I use it, I pour a little bit in this little cup and then I use it. When I'm done, I just let it sit out, like air dry, and then either the next day or whenever I go back to it, that glue dries, and then you can just like peel it right out, throw that, you know, leftover glue away, and then you've got your cup still. So, so you can reuse these. So it ends up being really cost effective, and you don't need much. So I'm just going to put just a little bit in here, which is probably more than I need, and let me set that spoon on that mat. Okay, so what I did is, so you want your paper to be what's considered like portrait. So this would be portrait. If we turn it this way, it would be landscape. So you want the 4 inches to be the width of the paper and let the 4.5 be the length of the paper, this way. Okay, so the shiny side down, and then what I did is I just came in with the paintbrush and I painted a strip down the middle, just with the glue. And I'll show you that too, in case you can't see it. It's a little hard to see it. So I just painted just a strip down the middle. Let's scooch that over there for a second. Okay. So I think you can kind of see, like just down the middle, like the strip is down the middle. Okay. And then you want to take your saltwater taffy, and you want it to sit this way. So don't turn it this way on its side. You want it to sit with the bottom down. So what I do is, when I'm placing it on my wrapper, I don't start at the bottom, because what I want some of this wrapper to curl over the bottom of that clay, so that when the glue dries, I want that paper to adhere to it. So what I do is I start it not like this is the center, and I come down just a little bit, so that when I do wrap it, you can see, try to do it slow for you, you can see how the wrapper is covering up the clay that way. Went a little fast. You can see how it covers it. And then, I don't do it in the air, I'm just showing you. Okay, and then once it covers it, then I just roll it over on itself. And then when you get to the other end, there's glue, because we went all the way up. Just press that down, and then you want to take your 2 ends, and you want to go forward with one and backwards with one. So you just want to twist it. So you give it a little twist on this side and a little twist on that side. And then what I did is I just kind of, if I didn't like the shape, now you can still play with it. So you can just kind of like squish it around a little bit, make it a little rounder if you want, a little more rectangle if you want, like whatever you want. I found that when I made these, they haven't come undone. So I don't think they'll come undone. But because this clay it's pretty much like putting it back in the original wrapper or in a Ziploc baggie, it's not going to harden and cure or dry out. It's just going to stay like it is. So that's the reason that I did the glue, is I wanted to make sure that this edge of paper was tacked down and that it doesn't come back up or unravels. So I just felt like that helped it. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to do another one for you. Let me grab. Okay, and then that. And then, like I said, I just did the center. Went down the center. Scooch that over there. And then you just want to take it again, like lengthwise, and just lay it down so that it is. You want it to come up and over that clay. By putting the stripe, like the line down the center, it's like the whole piece of clay gets some of the glue on it, and that's what I want. And then you just roll it. It's adhered, and then like I said, you want to twist one towards you, you want to twist one away from you, and then that way it just seals it, and it's tighter that way. And then like this one, it's a little bit, has a lot more in it. So okay, so there you go. So I've got 2 of the green ones now, and we'll put that aside. I'm going to finish these up because I wanted to keep this short and sweet. But if you have any questions on how we do it, let me know, and I'll finish these up. I'm going to make some other colors, and then I will put them in my pink gumball machine, and then I'll post pictures later to show you what it looked like. So, hi Angelique, I'm just wrapping up, so let me know if you have any questions. We are making saltwater taffy tonight to go with the salted dark chocolate caramels that we made the other night. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to keep working, but I'm going to pop off of here so I don't take up too much of your Sunday evening time. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you learned from this, and that if this is something that you want to do, be sure and hop into the group and show me how you did it and like how you displayed yours, because I'd love to see it. So, okay, well, I'm going to hop off of here now, but again, thanks for joining me, and I will see you all in the group. All right, thanks. Bye, everyone.